Welcome back, Remote Pilot 101 and MzeroA Nation. I'm Kat, and today we're in Moultrie, Georgia at a local farm, and we're going to be interviewing Taylor Newsome, who is the business owner of Skyview Ag Services. He uses drones in his business, and we're going to get a little bit more information about how he uses those. Thanks for being here today, Taylor. Why don't we start by you telling us a little bit about your business, how you use drones, and all that good stuff.
Okay. My name's Taylor Newsome. I'm a South Georgia native from here in Colquitt County. Run and operate Skyview Ag Services. We provide aerial drone application services to the surrounding counties. We do pesticide application, fertilizer application. We can do a little bit of imagery work. It just kind of depends. There's a lot of different things that this drone can do besides just spraying. But yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. And so what made you want to get into this like drone type of agricultural industry?
Yeah. So agriculture has been in my blood since I was a kid. I wasn't born into a family that farmed or anything like that, but somehow I became infatuated with it and went to ABAC to get my ag degree. Worked on a farm during that time, and then after college wound up working a non-agriculture job. About that time stumbled across an advertisement for a spray drone and didn't really think much of it at first, and the more time went on, a light bulb kind of went off. I was like, hey, there's really not anybody around here at the time that's doing this, and so I started looking into it and quickly determined that it was something I thought I could do, and so the wheels kind of got in motion then, and here we are about 3 years later, and it's been great.
Okay, very cool. And so I know you mentioned it a little bit before, but what does your like day-to-day look like? What are the types of jobs that you typically do?
Early spring, we're doing a lot of pond management, aquatic management type stuff. That's usually the best time to hit those kind of things. And then that just kind of rolls right into cotton and peanut season. You kind of just stick with those main crops. You'll have some odd and end things come through, and there's a little bit of a lag in late July and August because you're kind of in that what I'll call the ag lag, where the crops are kind of just in limbo. They're getting ready to mature for harvest, and then you kind of roll into, if it's cotton, you roll into defoliation. If it's corn, you roll into doing some, if you've got some weeds in your corn that you need to get taken care of before you get in there with your harvester, we do those kind of things. And then by the time you get through with all that, you're in that October, November time frame, and it kind of dies off after that.
So what kind of drone do you use in your business?
So we use a DJI Agris T40, and it is tailored to the agriculture side of DJI. You can, like I said, there are some uses you can do with it that are not ag related, but I would say primarily its focus is spraying and spreading on crops.
Are there any special like apps or like programs that you use with?
There are a few. DJI offers a couple programs. So DJI Terra, if you're doing any kind of mapping, you can use that program. We don't really use that, but they do have a platform called DJI Smart Farm. If a grower says, hey, I got 50 acres, I need you to spray, and we map it out and we actually only wind up spraying 45, then we can charge them for that 45 instead of the 50 that they said, just trying to be a little more accurate.
What was the certification process like for you getting your remote pilot?
Yeah, so the first thing that you had to have was you had to have your remote pilot, which is your Part 107 certification. I went through the local PSI exam place here in Tifton and passed it on the first try. I will tell you, you learn some things in there that probably would make you think you were going to go fly a big commercial airplane when you leave out of there, but it's things you need to know if you're going to be flying around. There is a 2-year renewal period on that, so you have to renew your knowledge or take kind of a knowledge deal every 2 years. Things that a lot of drone operators kind of skimp out on is there's other exemptions required by the FAA that you have to have in order to legally operate one of these businesses and one of these drones, and that's your Part 44807 exemption through the FAA, which allows you to legally fly a drone that weighs over 55 pounds. And then you have to have your Part 137 operating certificate, which allows you to perform agricultural operations with that drone.
Do you see the future of drones in agricultural industry growing, and what do you kind of see that future looking like?
I do see it growing. It has grown in the last 3 years since I've been in this business, but it seems like every 6 months to a year there's a newer version coming out. So the version we have is a T40, and it has a 40-liter tank on it, which equates to a little over 10 gallons of solution at the time. I believe now they have a T100, and there's other vendors that have different size ones. But I think as time goes on, you're going to see the tank size get bigger. You're going to see the batteries be able to go a little bit longer. And that is one of the most limiting factors with these drones, is they do run off of batteries. And so every time we land, there's a big generator running. It's charging batteries. Every time it lands, no matter if you got 80% battery left or 30, we're changing batteries, sending it back out just to be on the safe side. So yes, I see it definitely. They're here to stay. I don't see them going anywhere. I think they're just going to get bigger and better as time goes on.
So last thing I would say is, what advice do you have for someone who's looking to get into this type of business?
Do it right. I would recommend not being what we commonly refer to as cowboy operators, the ones that just think, hey, I can go buy a drone, I can start flying, and nothing's going to happen. Take the time, spend the money, do it right, carry the right insurance that you need. I don't think you'd regret it.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Taylor, so much.
Thank you very much.
Remote Pilot 101 gives you the knowledge and certification you need to launch your journey as a professional drone pilot. Start today at remotepilot101.com. I'll see you in the next video.